Welcome to another Nonsense Wars production. In this episode, we unbox a brand new LEGO Technic 8482 CyberMaster set. LEGO released this set in 1998, apparently attempting to sell something like the Boost Creative Toolbox of 2017, only 20 years earlier. As far as we know, this was not a popular set and has become pretty rare. Still, we managed to pick up this brand new example at Bricks by the Bay 2018 for just $100. First, let's look at the outer box, which is more of a sleeve for the case inside it. The front graphic shows the main model and some tacky description and imagery, ostensibly relating to what else you can build. Also mentioned is the radio control feature, which allows users to operate models using their computer. One of the sides states the system requirements: a 90 MHz Pentium, 16 megs of RAM, Windows 95 or 8, 60 megs of storage, a CD drive, a DirectX 5 capable GPU, sound, and a serial port. The set also needs a 9-volt battery and 6 AA batteries. The other side has some more flavor text, and the bottom shows and describes some of the contents of the set, along with the general gist of how you use it. The inner box is an odd combination of a plastic case with some cardboard decoration. 2 latches on the handle keep it closed, and once they are undone, the box opens down the middle. It has 2 same-sized sides separated by a cardboard flap. One side has a foam insert with some of the larger special parts, and the other side has no dividers with all the other parts. I'll go through all the paper that came with the set before going through all of the parts. There were 2 startup guides included in our set, a color one in multiple languages, and a black and white one only in English. The English guide seems to be a subset of the color guide, and thus a somewhat strange inclusion. Another odd inclusion is some passages about the illegality of copying or redistributing the software, perhaps an abridged EULA for kids who won't read it or listen to it anyway. Also, see how they spelled warranty 2 ways on the same page. A LEGO service catalog for 1998 lists parts and lots of parts that one could buy outside of a set. Apparently, a 9-volt train motor cost £26 that year. Adjusting for inflation, prices actually haven't gone up that much. Some tags on a chain contain miscellaneous information that might help you get up and running faster, but a lot of it seems to be information already present elsewhere. Sending the included registration card to LEGO in the UK gets you a free cyber cap, and the card contains another oddity. The address label is a sticker, and I wonder what's under it. Finally, a contemporary LEGO Technic catalog shows a plethora of sets available that year, a mix of ones that look almost 80s, like the Foss Shuttle, and ones that are much more 2000s, like the Turbo Command. Now back to the parts. The most specialized parts in the set are, of course, the CyberMaster hub and transmitter. The hub has 2 built-in motors, a single additional motor output, and 3 sensor inputs, again, very similar to the Boost. It has a smattering of studs on the top and bottom, lining the somewhat amorphous shape, but it does have full-depth pinholes on the sides, unlike the RCX. The radio transmitter has an almost identical form to the Mindstorm's infrared transmitter. In fact, you can see that they use the same mold for the back piece. It has little cutouts on the top where the halves meet for the antenna, but on the Mindstorm's transmitter, these are just blanked out. Our hub and transmitter both had what appear to be Canadian regulatory stickers, so this specific set perhaps originated there. Other notable electronic parts include a serial cable for the transmitter, 9-volt cables with colored ends, and touch sensors with resistors, such that each one can be uniquely identified by the hub. The wires are made of a very brittle material and started disintegrating as soon as we started using them. This is unfortunately really common for LEGO wires from this time. There are some unusual non-electronic parts as well, most obviously the treads, wheels, and frames, which only come in this set. There are also some foldable plastic tubs and 2 very short pieces of flex cable. Finally, let's take a look at the software. We were unable to install it on Windows 7 64-bit, not because the CyberMaster software itself would not install, but because Apple QuickTime 3 did not cooperate. Messing with various compatibility modes did not help, and we eventually turned to loading the software on an old 2000s-ish laptop with Windows XP and a serial port. Even then, we had to set the application to 95-98 compatibility mode before it would run. Upon successfully launching the program, we are greeted with the logo splash used on all LEGO software at this time, like LEGO Loco, Creator, Rock Raiders, etc., and a very 90s cutscene of Technic figures arriving at Planet Technic. And boy, is there a lot of cutscene to guide you through all the areas of the software. The tour takes probably 5 to 10 minutes if you let it run in its entirety, though there is the option to skip parts using the Put Your Foot on It button. Here is a sample of some parts of the tour.
Here we go. Within the Coliseum, you can build some very particular LEGO Technic models to do some serious competing. Here, take a look at this. It's a video starring some keen competitors like yourself. There are two mighty machines for you to build. Let me present to you Crusher and Stinger. There are 2 ways to battle. 1 player. Or 2 players.
Is that, yes, the latest type of bulldozer blade behind, there. And then there's one with these powerful claws that's now, picking beef up. I'm especially proud of that feature. And the last one is a fork particularly useful for moving containers around. You can operate it.
Once the cutscenes are over, you finally arrive at the main menu where you can go to the Coliseum to build a fighting machine, Area 15 to build a quote-unquote truck, and the garage to build more introductory models. To me, this is a bit of a strange UI as the clickable areas aren't clearly demarcated. You have to rely on feedback from the pointer. The options to view and skip cutscenes are the only explicitly called out buttons on the page. On that note, we will be looking at building and operating models in a future part 2. So have a nice day.
Well, really, we're just after this guy, of course, but also